Hello again. So today I felt like I've mentioned drawing circles as a piece of artwork for like 2 times now, or 3 times, and I figured maybe I should do an exercise on it. In the last tutorial, well, maybe not. Previously I mentioned that drawing circles actually is a very soothing thing. Um, because of what a circle means, the metaphorical meaning of a circle. So today we are actually going to draw a entire neuro art made of circles. So today is actually neuro art and not so much about Neurographica, but it's kind of the same thing because I have one aim in mind, and that's to release tension, de-stressing. So today's exercise is about releasing tension and de-stressing with circles. Okay, I am sure everybody by now should be familiar with the meanings of a circles and why we're drawing a whole bunch of circles um, on a piece of paper for art. Um, Go look at the tutorial on the metaphor of shapes, and you should probably have a better understanding of why drawing circles will release tension. Of course, the other thing is you don't really have to go look at it, just try it. Okay? How many circles we're gonna draw? Honestly, I had no idea. Enough to fill the entire page. And just a few notes about drawing circles. When you draw a circle, if you draw a relatively big circle, it's harder to draw a nice looking circle. So if you keep your circle small, not too small, I mean, yeah, a small circle like this is easy to draw. See, it looks like a circle now. I mean, you probably could close your eyes and do it, and it's not a problem. So you can do it bigger. I think this ink's running out of ink. Okay, now the bigger you go, the harder it is to draw a perfect circle. Okay. So the other thing you can probably do is, you absolutely have to have a better looking circle. Get a pencil, start sketching. Sketch a circle. Don't use a compass. Sketch a circle. You cannot see it because I'm using a 2H pencil. It's really light. Okay, then you just go over the lines like what I'm doing now. See? You got a relatively nice looking circle. Okay, so I'll probably be using a mixture of these two techniques, using a pencil to sketch and using a marker. I'm not using an alcoholic marker because I know they tend to fade over time, and even then it'll take quite a few years to fade, especially because this is black. So even though alcohol inks are not known to be as light fast, blacks are still pretty light fast, and unless I'm exposing it to sun, it will not fade for many years to come. Probably by the time it fades out, I have gotten sick of looking at it. But still, having said that, I'm not stopping you from using it. It's just me. I don't like the fact that my artwork fade, so I like them to last like pretty much forever, I guess. So I'll be using these oil-based marker. Oil-based marker tends to be a little bit more light fast. Okay, so here we go. Wanted to add that since we're not using any neuro lines to join anything, I would encourage you to use circles beyond the edges, like circles that are too big to be contained in this picture on the edges, so they'll act like neuro lines for integration purposes. Okay? Now that I've done roundings, we start off by looking to see if there is an image that captures your attention. An image, a symbol, or something. Something that captures your attention. So like, right off, I see a person wearing a cap with two hands out like that. So it looks like either he's running or he's dancing. It feels more like he's dancing to me. So, and then you turn the drawing to see if you can see any other symbols or images that jumps out at you. Now, if you don't see any image that jumps out of you or any symbol that jumps out of you, that's fine. Okay, so that's the only image I see that jumps out at me. I don't see anything else. Okay, sometimes you can see more than one symbol or image, and sometimes you can't see any at all. If you can't see any at all, that's fine. And if you can, then that's good. You don't have to fixate on it. There's no fixation, as in like you outline the drawing, to get the image to stand out. In this case, you can actually color it to make the image stand out. Okay, so the normal coloring rules for Neurographica applies. You have to color in groups of more than 3 segments, 3 or more. Okay, and if you have one group, you have to have more than one group of the same color. There's no restriction on the color. You can, if you want to, like restrict yourself to using a color palette of like maybe 4 or 5 colors. You don't really need to. I mean, only thing is that it shouldn't look like mosaic. That's all. That's the main thing. Or you can choose to either color all the circles in different colors, groups of the circles, and then layer it with different colors like bubbles overlapping each other, or you can choose to color the image, which that is what I'm going to do. Okay? Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the coloring. So there's no integration because you're already integrated because of all these circles. So there are no neural lines in this drawing, remember, all circles. And the next step is to look at your art, your image, and try to come up with a story of what it means. Okay? So you have to remember that for when you do something like this and when you deal with images, symbols, they are metaphors and they're very personal. They're not metaphors in the sense of like Neurographica, where Neurographica is metaphors of shapes like the circles, the squares, and triangles. This metaphor is personal. So like for example, like in this image, I said before that this looks like a human figure that is dancing, and the top is wearing a cap, but I feel that this cap is like a military cap, so this is like, I don't know, but it feels like this is a military person and it's dancing, it's in a party, all the balloons, he's in a party. And what does it mean? So to me, now the military to me means rules, oppression. Like there's somebody that's watching over you all the time, all the rules that you have to follow, stickler for rules. So what this is telling me is maybe I should just give the rules a break and just party, relax. Okay, and this is what this whole drawing is about. And as I'm saying that, I actually felt like a confirmation inside me that says yes, relax the rules. Let the rules take a holiday. If you're feeling stressed, let the rules take a holiday and just do whatever, which is this. So this military person dancing, you don't see any military person usually in in uniform dancing, at least not where I'm from. Maybe you see it in the movies, like they're celebrating a victory over a war or something like that. Yes, but in where I'm from, Singapore, you rarely ever see somebody in military uniform dancing ever. Okay, so that's because you gotta remember, this is my symbol. It's personal to me. So that's what I interpret this meaning to be for this piece of art. So now, the thing to take away from this is, this isn't 100% Neurographica. It's a mixture between art therapy and Neurographica. So, like, if I was in a counseling session with a client and the client showed me this drawing, this image might be telling a totally different story than what I just told. Okay, so yes, we'll have to ask questions. So in this case, you're not in any therapy session where you have a therapist sitting there waiting, asking you questions, all that. You have to ask yourself your question. What's the story here? What does this symbol mean? What do all these colors mean? Those are starting points. And then the best thing to do is write your story down in the back of the page if there's no bleeding over. Like in this case, there's some bleeding, but it's not so bad that you can't write on the back. Or if not, attach another piece of paper and write the story down, like a journal. Tell the story of this art. Okay. So other than that, I think this is the end of the video. I will talk to you again in the next video.